Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another casted game for Age of Empires 4, and today we've got the road to Redbull Wololo Legacy. We've got Szalami playing in the southwest corner of the map in red as the Mongols, and in the northeast we've got DeMusliM representing Team Liquid in blue as the Chinese. The map is Kaosan, one of the new maps for the road to Redbull Wololo Legacy. And as you can see, you've got these two little ponds here, one on the left, one on the right, one on either side. A very important strategic point for this map. Fishing economy is the fastest source of food in Age of Empires 4, so both players will be contesting that. And the map is new, so we'll be seeing a new meta established, new strategies, and what better place to start with a player like Szalami, who, as you guys know, he is a bit of a theory crafter himself and can come up with some wacky strategies. As you can see, going quite heavily on wood to be able to afford that initial dock early on. And the Chinese themselves, they're not half bad at getting that wood income, especially if they can supervise the lumber camp with an Imperial official. They can really bolster their wood income and get that dock early. It'll be interesting to see how much of the fight ends up on water. I suspect it will be quite a lot. Villager being pulled out forward for Szalami, unguarded. Let's take a look at the scouting situation for DeMusliM. He's only gone for one scout at the moment, picking up lots of sheep, and of course, that doesn't, I mean, the sheep will certainly help in the mid to late game. It will delay the farm transition somewhat, especially if you're pushed off the waters. But of course, both players will be wanting to secure the ponds, and it is just the one Khan here that initially spawns for Szalami. And I think he used the Falcon. So this scouting Falcon is actually going to give him vision in this area for 30 seconds, and that will give him some information in case he needs to pull up that villager away from the dock or not. So nice little bonus there being used by the Mongols for Szalami. Alright, not a lot going on as you'd expect in this stage of the game. Early days. But what is key is that Szalami has managed to get his dock up, so this fishing ships will be starting to be produced once he can afford it. Is struggling for the wood though, because he's going for a barracks as well. They're certainly going to go for early aggression. The Chinese have got their dock up and running, 2 fishing ships already. Szalami's a little bit behind on that front. But with the barracks, maybe looking to get an outpost rush on the back of this. And that could be quite significant if you can deny some of the fishing economy for DeMusliM by putting an outpost there or two, protected by some spearmen. The Mongols could be looking quite good in the early aggressive stage of the game in the feudal age. We're obviously still in the Dark Age, so it's still a bit away to get to that feudal age. But once he does, Szalami will be able to equip those outposts with arrow slits as long as he keeps the gold income going. As you can see, double producing those spearmen to pop out at the same time from the barracks. They're going to make their way across the map and look to try and deny some of the fishing economy, or maybe just harass the economy a little bit here for DeMusliM. DeMusliM is aware of that situation. He's getting spearmen of his own from the barracks, and of course he can actually supervise that. As you can see, the Imperial official is doing just that. Supervising that barracks means he can double produce, and the Khan is aware. DeMusliM knows that something's going to be happening here because the Khan is heading this way. Alrighty, now the spear's going to be heading forward. It's a little bit awkward though, the Khan doesn't have the torch damage there in the Dark Age. A little bit weird. In any case, this could be quite a strategic point of position actually, because actually put his dock away from his base in terms of the other side of the pond. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but what could be fascinating is if he decides to go for the boar, because that, I mean, the dock can actually act as a drop-off point for the boar meat, so that could be incredibly strong if he decides to outpost that and get some villagers there to hunt that boar. Our 2 spearmen are starting to torch us down. DeMusliM is reacting nicely. He's bringing some spearmen through the stealth forest. He's going to look to challenge this. And if he can push this back, he needs to keep his fishing economy alive. Obviously, it's very key at this stage of the game. He's invested a lot of wood into it. Szalami's actually only invested 2 fishing ships so far, so he's going to be further behind in terms of the food income. And that might mean that DeMusliM should be able to get up to the food ledge a bit quicker, but we shall see. He's better housed at the moment. As you can see, those fishing ships, that food economy is going to be looking strong for the Chinese here. But what I would love to know is, can the docks be supervised? It would be obviously very risky to put out an Imperial official there. But be interested to see if that could be supervised. It'd be very risky, obviously, to keep an Imperial official there, but an interesting thing to test, that's for sure. Szalami is starting to continue to produce those fishing ships. He's relying a bit more heavily on the sheep there. Let's take a look at the starting gear where it is. It is on the gold. Got 1 villager on that gold, so we'll be looking to get to the feud ledge soon. Needs another 2 drop-offs to be able to afford that feud ledge upgrade. And moment, Things looking good. Actually, wait, is that being supervised? It almost looks as if the Imperial official is supervising the barracks, and I think he is. Yeah, DeMusliM going quite heavy in the Dark Age with the Spearmen, as you can see, because Szalami is as well. About to call him Somali. No, it's Szalami. Gonna push that back in the Stealth Forest. There's the fight, and Khan using the maneuver arrow, so we'll be able to take out effective fire and be able to chase down the Spearmen for DeMusliM. And this is where the micro becomes key. Szalami might look to try and torch damage the dock and then switch back to the fight. We shall see. And really heavy committing to the spears here in the Dark Age. Very heavy aggression. Two spearmen came through on the south side looking to just deny that gold. Szalami does have the 200 gold he needs so far to get up to the next stage. That's useful, but it does delay his gold income for the feudal age in case he wants to get some attack ships out from the docks. And there's a big fight here. Looks like DeMuslim's going to lose this one. He's trying to retreat. But a lot of spearmen do go down in the meantime, and now Szalami is going to put on the pressure. He's looking strong from this spearman battle. Don't forget, he's been able to double produce this whole time using the Ovu. Now the spearmen go ahead towards the dock. The dock is actually less than half HP, so that's pretty significant. The Khan has been taken down in that stealth forest, and Szalami turning back again to fight. Certainly standoffish. Comes down to the micro here because both players going to have to micro this fight, but also macro back at home. And here comes the torch damage, and the dock for DeMusliM is actually under a lot of pressure. He turns around and fights Szalami. He does have the numbers advantage. Should take a victory in the fight. DeMusliM committing. Actually, let's take a look at the HP of some of these units. It could be quite a close one. Microing here very nicely by Szalami. He picks off some of the spearmen, and he should be able to take the dock. That is a huge advantage. If he can torch this down, that'd be incredible. Will we see some villagers being pulled for repairs? It doesn't seem like it. I think Szalami is actually committing. He doesn't mind those two spearmen at all. He takes down the dock. That is huge. This fishing economy. That's a lot of investment. That's been taken down, but another dock being put up by 4 villagers, rushing it down. The Muslim will be able to get that up. Obviously, the Chinese villagers do build faster. Holy smokes, that came up in no time. And Szalami, he takes out 150 wood worth. The economy is not idle for too long, and the Muslim opting to repair. Now, Szalami has committed again to the waters with the fishing ships, and we'll be starting to be able to build up those numbers. The problem for Szalami now, he doesn't have the numbers of spearmen on the field. Liquid, DeMusliM, representing Team Liquid, is going to push it forward. Oh, the boar just got aggroed though. That's actually smart. I think he's aggroed the boar so that the boar goes for the spearman, and it forces DeMusliM to fight the boar. We've seen this being done quite commonly recently. As you can see, the boar is after the spearman, chasing them down, going to run away from them. And the boar should get de-aggroed now. Wow, that activation is actually quite a long distance. It's no joke. It did get aggroed for quite a while. Whoa, villagers being pulled here for the berries. I think those are the 4 villagers that were pulled towards the build the dock, and that's a problem for DeMusliM. He has his army on the left side of the pond, nowhere near where he needs to be, because those villagers might be going down. This is going to be painful for DeMusliM. He loses 4 villagers. Well, actually, he had more than that. He brought more. So he had 4 villagers to build the dock, and he's just lost some on the berries. It's a rather curious decision to keep them further forward and pretty basically in a risky area. There is the age up for Szalami, getting to the feudal age first. DeMusliM follows very shortly behind, and he's going to be going for the Barbican of the Sun there, DeMusliM, for that Song Dynasty. That'll offer him a very... Wait, hang on a minute. DeMuslim's not into the feudal age. That's not his feudal age. Wait a minute. He doesn't have the Imperial Academy. His feudal age has been delayed a lot. I thought I heard the game sound for the feudal age for DeMusliM. It's not. This would be the feudal age. He's rushing it up with 8 villagers, so it should go up without too much of a problem. But if Szalami spots this, he might start to focus fire on the villagers with the spearmen. He does rush in and use the arrow maneuver with the Khan, and he's going to start to pick off some of the villagers. I'm not sure if DeMusliM has textiles. He doesn't. The villagers do get pulled back. I mean, this is not really a fight that necessarily Szalami will win overall because a lot more spearmen, but he's delaying the uptake, and that is hugely significant. And the Khan is still firing his arrows from behind. There's a nice display here for Szalami. Now he does engage with the fight. He's probably going to be focusing on the spearmen, because these are hardened spearmen now, so these are units that have been upgraded. But the numbers here for DeMusliM are a little bit too high. Szalami decides to pull back. It's caused a lot of idle time on the villagers so far, so nice bit of eco damage on that front. And now Szalami going to head back home, looking to reconsolidate, getting the villagers spread out onto wood and gold. I suspect he's going to be looking to get to the castle age very soon as well. Look at the food count for Szalami. The fishing economy has been fantastic. He's not been idled even for a second on that dock, and Szalami's looking to dock as well. There is the feudal age for DeMusliM. He will be able to get a junk out. That's right, you heard me. He's going to get his junk out onto the pond and try and snipe some of this fishing economy, or at least deny the dock rather. It will be Szalami looking to try and get some attack ships, going for a light junk as the Chinese. DeMusliM going to try and pressurize his dock. Actually might be able to do so. These are hardened spearmen. He's got quite a large number of them. Will we see the archer transition? We do see the archer transition. We've got Szalami with his archers now moving forward, and that's going to be a nice counter to the spearmen. The spearmen aren't going to be doing too much more damage. The boar has been aggroed again, and I think Salami's been aggroing this boar consistently. It's going to pick off some of the spearmen. These boars are incredibly angry. They do a lot of damage, and the dock might actually go down, but not without losses. A lot of spearmen will be going down. The dock is on fire. Will villagers be pulled for the Mongols by Szalami to repair this? If not, he needs to get another dock on the southern side of the pond, that's for sure. The dock does go down. Now the fishing economy has been idled. You can see the nets being drawn back. These guys aren't doing anything. Dock for Szalami is under attack. Trying to get a second one on this as well. But DeMusliM does have 2 junks there, so that's going to be a bit of an issue. I'm not sure Szalami's going to get too much value out of this. Some of the villagers might be going down. Szalami might just about get the dock up, but I'm not so sure. Oh, he will get the dock up in the end because the junks get pulled back. I'm not sure why. He had a chance to deny that the villagers need to pull away. They're just going to be dying there after building the dock. Szalami not paying attention. He's looking elsewhere. He's looking around the right side, possibly. And spearmen trying to go it alone on the Barbican in the sun. A bit sloppy there by Szalami standards. But of course, we talk about high standards here. And then we've got the junks here for... DeMusliM actually. Yeah, the light junk's not going to be quite enough. We're just trying to snipe some of the fish. Might be able to get one of them actually. Does manage to take out a fishing ship. That's actually quite key. Very important bit of detail there, denying fishing economy. The dock has been rebuilt for the Mongols. But what's so significant is that Szalami has gone up to the castle age. That is a huge tech upgrade with the villagers on gold. 15 of them. And don't forget, a step redoubt increases the amount of gold dropped off by 50%. You can add another good, well, 7.5 villagers roughly there to the total. Let's take a look at the village count now then. 46 for DeMusliM. 50 for Szalami, so Szalami very much ahead on the economy. Would he be looking to get a prayer tent for some relics, or would he be going for Castle Age aggression? I suspect it'll be the Castle Age aggression. That's just seems to be the way that Szalami plays the game a lot, and we'll need to see though, because getting the relics will be quite good here. Quite a large investment. Demo ships coming out, and demo ships should be able to do a decent amount of damage. There is a war junk now, so these are Castle Age units for Szalami. He'll be able to win the waters quite significantly here, as you can see. Almost able to one-shot a fishing boat. Not quite, but he's going to be getting there soon. Yeah, look at that. It's fantastic. The economy for DeMusliM is going to be struggling here on the left side pond. There's a demolition ship. Let's take a look at how much damage he can do. He's going to go straight for the fishing ships instead of the junks, and that's not a bad option because if he can take out some of the... Oh no, cycling back. He's going to go for the junk instead. Going to take those out. Good amount of damage. We see a nice demo ship shot there, and I mean that junk is still alive, so that won't be living for too long though. One shot's it. War junk, and now the fishing economy for DeMusliM going to be struggling. DeMusliM needs to get up to the Castle Age, but he's actually gone for the Song Dynasty, so this is a bit of an issue. He's going to go to Castle Age now with the Astronomical Clock Tower, but he's quite delayed compared to his opponent, and having the Astronomical Clock Tower now will be giving him the presence of siege on the map easily. But you just get the feeling the Castle Age was so delayed that it means that Szalami now has the left-sided pond quite nicely. If he can take down this dock, that would be ideal, but it's been protected by the Barbican in the sun. That gives DeMusliM a little bit of a window of opportunity to fight back. There is that Castle Age coming in now. Now Szalami looking to try and deny the dock that DeMusliM has. There's a lot of fishing economy. It's actually quite imperative that Szalami deals with this. He will not want one of these junks to come out, and if it does, that could become a problem. But there's not enough units here for Szalami to take this out quick enough. I think the war junk is going to pop out, and Szalami's going to have to get a war junk of his own, and he does indeed, trying to take that dock out. But I think a war junk might pop out and do quite a bit of damage here. 10 seconds for it to come out, and we shall see. Now on the right side, there is that prayer tent being built, or being packed on towards the relic. This is quite ballsy, not opting to get the shaman out now. He might actually lose the prayer tent. In fact, he will, because there's not much that Szalami can do about this. Doesn't have the archer numbers. They pulled 3 villagers to build there as well. Imperial examinations does come in for DeMusliM, so that gold income for the Imperial officials will be starting to rise. But as you can see, the war junk is on the field. Did Szalami commit to a second? He didn't, just went for the one. Fishing ships are going down very quickly though, and that's a problem for Szalami. He's going to lose his economy here. He has the potential to transition onto the left side though if he wishes to. They can take that dock out first. I'm pretty surprised that DeMuslim's not repairing that. That offers him a window of opportunity to get back into the game on that side. He chooses not to repair it, and that war junk does go down for DeMusliM now, but a decent amount of damage there. Certainly worth it for the Chinese. And now Szalami coming out with some man-at-arms, kind of expected this stage of the game. Of course, lancers wouldn't be so helpful, not against all these spearmen, which are now veteran spearmen for the Chinese, and Aoe4 are very, very exposed. That's not a very good position for Szalami at all, especially if he decides to turn and fight. But these guys are veteran archers, only 3 of them. We need an intense Micah to be able to take down all of that. There's the blacksmith going down for Szalami, looking to get those upgrades for the army. He's now starting to really pump up the production buildings. And let's take a look. Yeah, that prayer tent does go down in the end. He's rebuilding another one. Spearman getting good value on the gold vein here. That's a lot of idle time. This is more than just 15 villagers. That's the 50% bonus drop off that he's denying there as well. The archers are there though, so to be honest at this point, Szalami could just stand and fight. I'm not sure if he's got textiles. He doesn't have textiles at this stage of the game. That's a bit of a problem. Might lose a couple more villagers. It's actually really good value for the spearmen, which are kind of obsolete at this point, especially with man-at-arms on the field for Szalami. Lancers are going to start to head forward through for DeMusliM now. The one thing about the Mongols is they don't get walls, and so his economy will be relatively exposed. It means that Lancers can dive in and duck out and get some villager picks, and he will be looking to do just that on the outpost. These are actually man-at-arms, so man-at-arms won't be able to trade too well. But with the outpost there, no emplacements though. That'll just be for vision for now. The Lancers doing pretty well here. Looks like crossbow transition is coming out for Szalami. That would be the counter unit of choice for the Lancers. Lancers, we talked about it, they're going to be diving straight into the wood line. Takes out 2 villagers at least, maybe even more. The villagers do get pulled, a third one falls down, and let's take a look at the villager count, because don't forget, Szalami is on 56 villagers, 61 for DeMusliM. DeMusliM does have that Song dynasty as a Chinese, meaning that their town centers produce 33% faster, and this is fantastic play by DeMusliM. Great value from these 2 Lancers. Idling a lot of the military for Szalami. This military could be on the front lines, but instead it's not. It's actually heading back, and now we're going to see Szalami trying to put some pressure on the Barbican Sun on the front lines in the middle of the map. And it's going to be a bit of pressure here. He's going to use a couple of villagers. Thanks so much, Snoopy, for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. I was in there, obviously, earlier watching the 1v1 games. Hope you had a good ending to the stream. I thought I'd give some casting a go with Szalami and DeMusliM. It's a fantastic set from the road to Redbull Wololo. It's actually game number 1, so welcome, Raiders. We're going to be having a good set today. It's going to be a fantastic set. It's game number 1 as well, so you haven't missed too much, but we are on Kawasan. Villagers get pulled back for Szalami towards the town centre. We talked about this, the Lancers getting good value, but the crossbows do sweep that up back at home. Lots of production buildings for the Mongols. You just get the feeling Szalami senses blood here. He's going to push forward in the constellation. Again, Lancers again attacking that wood line. Just, Szalami, please get an outpost or 2. He needs to defend this position because he's losing villagers left, right, and centre. 70 villagers for DeMusliM, 59 for Szalami, and that's partly because of that Song dynasty. But the Lancers causing so much idle time. Not only is he denying the villager picking up the wood, he's causing a lot of idle time. The town centre trying to fire this down. He does have a sprig on replacement in this outpost. Gold vein almost, well, it's gone now. We need to see where he's relocated that gold vein to. Because of course gold will be incredibly imperative for Szalami's army composition here. Going quite heavy on gold units with the man-at-arms and crossbows. Chase continues, and now it's pushing on the front line. The Barbican Sun does get taken out. And the good thing for Szalami, he does have the west side pond, and he still has control of the east side pond, so the economy will be incredibly strong in terms of food economy. And now he's going to go for a defensive keep DeMusliM. He needs to secure this position. He's focused predominantly on land now. He needs to make it count. Maybe needs to get some farming transition going, because he looks to be struggling here. He's not going to be having the great food economy the Mongols do have on the fishing. And villagers will be going down on the keep. The keep will go up, of course, as the Chinese villagers build faster, but at what cost? A couple of villagers do get down, and I think Szalami needs to get out of there quickly. And we see DeMusliM starting to wall up on the front side of his base, but we can see the red dots on the minimap. Szalami is absolutely everywhere. Getting outposts. Does he have some of the relics? We did see the prayer tent earlier there, but as you can tell with the Mongols, it's difficult to keep track of buildings, because they can pack up and move. The Nomad Civ. No idea where that prayer tent has gone. Oh, there it is. It's got 1 relic in so far. Shaman does have 1 in his clutches. Now it's time to push forward, diving into the heart of the base, and DeMusliM taps out game number 1. Szalami taking out an absolute titan, an absolute giant of Age of Empires 4. Szalami taking his first game of this best of 3, and he's laying down a marker, guys. He'll be looking to go into game number 2 full of confidence, and we shall see if he's managing to pull it off. Stick around, guys. Game number 2 coming right up. Alrighty, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for game number 2. The set is heating up. Szalami taking that first set on Kawasan, but we now move on to Basin with DeMusliM on the south corner of the map in blue as the French going up against Szalami's Rus in the red on the north corner of the map, getting that hunting cabin nice and early. We'll be pumping out those scouts, of course. The Rus going to be getting that bounty. Holy moly, that's a lot of walls to be coming in. So Szalami getting a decent start here. Maybe even considering getting an early wheelbarrow. A lot of the build orders for the Rus civilization at the moment do opt for an early wheelbarrow. And especially if they can afford the gold for the age up. The wolves are actually running away from the town centre, but I'm sure Szalami will sort that out. Let's take a look at the scouting situation. Does have a couple of wolves here, DeMusliM, so he's going to be actually denying quite a lot here. There are 3 wolves here being denied, and the scout going towards the north, looking to find those deer patches if he can. Let's take a look at... Oh, there is that deer patch for DeMusliM. He's going to find that out, but Szalami's already found it. He's going to get at least 1 or 2 of those deer. He needs to keep attention here. It's going to be a little bit of a mini-game. Often you get this with the Rus. You get a bit of a mini-game going after the bounty, and that's going to be key. And this is quite nice here. Szalami actually delaying things for DeMusliM. He's actually going to build off a second scout. And now he should be able to take out the rest of the deer pretty nice and easily, and he will be getting that. Alrighty, pretty good so far. Opening for Szalami. This is actually a really nice matchup between the Rus and the French. Both civilizations have the potential to be aggressive in the feudal age, and we do love to see that. At least I do anyway, in particular, and having that feudal aggression does often have exciting consequences for games, and Szalami will want to keep things messy if he can. He needs something out of the bag against DeMusliM. Obviously, DeMusliM, one of the best players in Age of Empires 4, but Szalami, showing he's no slouch himself, he's easily one of the best players himself, but not necessarily at the level of DeMusliM. Obviously, DeMusliM already qualified for the main event, Redbull Wololo Legacy. Szalami looking to get there, and this could be a big statement. He's got his first win of the best of 3, and if he wins this one, that will be it for him. He'll be progressing to the next stage, and will he be able to do it up against DeMusliM's French? It'd be an interesting game, no doubt. DeMusliM going for 3 villages on gold, relatively standard build order for the French. Often we can see villages totaling 4 on gold or 3, depending on how early you want that wheelbarrow. DeMusliM going for the 3 villages, with 8 villages on food and now transitioning to wood. He's going to be seeing more villages come out to food. Of course, the French incredibly dependent on food income because of the cost of their knights. At 140 food, at 100 gold, they do not come cheap. And DeMusliM is ready to go up to the next stage. He's going to be building it with 4 villages. Again, very standard opening here for DeMusliM and the French. Bringing home another batch of sheep. That's actually a lot of sheep being brought here. 9. That'd be good for his feudal age uptime and his progression in the feudal age. To get those knights out, get those units out, keep the TC running. As we know, with the Rus, one thing that could be considered is a second town centre. We shall see if Szalami opts to do that. He can use the Golden Gate, and something that's very nice about the Rus is that they don't need to actually mine the stone in order to do so. He just needs to use the Golden Gate tickets twice to be able to buy the stone if he so wishes. So it's kind of like a hidden second town centre. You can't really scout it for the French here today. I mean, one way that can be scouted potentially, if you can look at the number of villages on wood, because of course the wood income is going to be necessary for that town centre to be built. And on the west, again, contesting the deer patches. Let's just take a look at the bounty count for Szalami. Look at that. Fantastic. 385. That's way up into tier 2, and that's going to definitely fund his wheelbarrow age up, and he is going up, of course, with the Golden Gate. Using 6 villagers to do so, so he should be able to get to the next stage before DeMusliM. Despite DeMusliM start, I think he started building the age up building first, but in any case, Szalami gets there first, and the Rus have a couple of options. They can go for a second town centre. They could consider perhaps going for the Boers. The Boers are in a bit precarious position. There's one on the left here, and where is the other one? Let's have a close look at the mini-map. It's sometimes not that easy to actually tell. Yeah, it's actually in the centre of the map, so the one here is going to be a little bit more precarious to take. I mean, that's just not one thing. He's not going to take that boar. That's way too far forward. One on the left might be an option. He's actually got quite a nice bit of wood lines there, so a hunting cabin there will actually start to generate a decent amount of gold as well if he decides to do so. He's getting an outpost, a wooden fortress on his gold. So that's an interesting position. I'm not sure if that's actually towards securing the gold or just securing this entrance to the base. Because, let's see, he's not... Yeah, Szalami is opting for that second town centre. He's already used 1 ticket. He's got 150 stone in the bank already. So he's indeed going for that second town centre. It'd be interesting to see where he decides to put that second town centre. Often we see the players at the moment getting the second town centre on hunt. So I'd be curious to see if he goes there on the back. I mean, he might be going here on the right. There is a wood line there. It's a bit further back and a little less protected. But we shall see. DeMusliM getting that wheelbarrow now, as you can tell, as we talked about it earlier. Having 3 villages in gold means that wheelbarrow is kind of a little bit delayed, considering if you have 4 villages, but obviously keeping those villages heavier on stone and wood, getting that second town centre. And the knight does now pop out, looking to get some value. Going to head forward, try and deny, or at least snipe, or cause some idle time for the Rus. There is that second town centre on the right, on the hunt, on the wood line. It's actually, yeah, so he actually opted for the back position, and it makes quite sense, because DeMusliM will need to actually really go towards the corner to be able to scout that out, and I don't think he sees anything like... Yeah, he sees it now, actually. It's actually very nice scouting for DeMusliM. As you can see, he probably noticed that, well, he will know that the deer's already been taken because obviously they challenged it for the bounty, but this is what shows us the pros and how they do things. And he's keeping an eye out for a possible expansion. And at the moment, the meta really is to be getting that second town center on deer patches. And so DeMusliM is aware that there's a deer patch back here, so he just confirms it. He wants to check if that second town center is up, and he sees it. And so this means now DeMusliM will be having that safe transition to a second town center himself. And the significance of that is that the French town centers do actually run faster, so he'll be producing the villagers faster than his counterpart. But it does look like the French town center, second town center, will be a bit delayed relative to the Roosters. And that Roost town center being up now and running. We'll take a look at the village count. 26 for DeMusliM, 26 for Szalami. So that villager lead will start to build up for Szalami just in the next few minutes, but not for long because DeMuslim's rushing some villages off of stone now. Holy moly, he's actually got 600 stone. This could be a relatively greedy build. Is DeMusliM going for a 3 town center? Surely not. That will be super greedy against the Roost. I'm not so sure about that, but I think he's going to go forward here to put the town center on the deer and the gold and the woodline. That's a fantastic spot for a town center. Can't really ask for much more than that. But I have a concern. I think he's going to go for a 3 town center play here. DeMusliM being incredibly greedy. I mean, if he can defend it, then that's fine, but he's going to be under a lot of pressure with the 2 town center Roost, and as we know, Szalami is relatively aggressive, and we can see it here already. He's going for barracks and stable. Well, I don't know about the strategy opening here for DeMusliM. I think this is a good opportunity for Szalami to be aggressive and kind of punish this. And don't forget, this is kind of match point here for Szalami, so if he can punish this, this will be his way to get further into the game. And it looks like he's going to go towards the deer hunt on the left side here. DeMusliM, and I'm not sure Szalami will be aware of that, but it looks like Szalami is going to be aggressive in the feudal age anyway. Yeah, possibly Szalami is opting to go towards the castle age. He's got a lot of villagers on gold. It might just be enough. Actually, let's just check how many villagers he does have in gold. 5. So it could be for upgrades. It could be for going for some early knights, considering he's got a stable. Yeah, it's a double stable, so we see a full commission. He's committing heavily to the feudal age. He's getting arrow slits in the wooden fortress. He's certainly playing feudal age, and this could be starting to heat up very nicely here, because looking at the strategies, we see DeMusliM go for the greedy option. Now, whilst the town centers for the French do produce villagers like faster, this does mean their food requirement is even greater. So the 3 town centers food production is going to need to be on point here for DeMusliM. It's going to be draining a lot of food into villagers rather than military, and it does take time for those villagers to pay themselves back. Looks like early knights and spears is on the menu for the Roost today, played by Szalami. Almost approaching 10 minutes into the game, and it's been relatively passive so far, has to be said, but a knight here for DeMusliM does get poked and prod by a couple of spearmen, who decides to run away. Probably the right option there. And Szalami continuing the chase with his own early knight. Chase continues across the basin. Scouts on hand for Szalami, looking to see what's going on. He spots the second town center. He's going to be aware of that. I think Szalami might just try and... Wait, what's going on? He blocks it in. The knight's going to die. Or maybe not. Yeah, he does, actually. Tries to snipe out the scout. Szalami keeps him alive. That guy's on 1 HP. He actually manages to survive. Now, scouts do regenerate their health. The amount that they regenerate and how fast they do is a little bit nerfed since the recent patch. The knight dives into the town center. Is going to keep that alive and maybe look to get chivalry to heal that boy up. And double archery range. There's going to be stable double archery range for the French, which is the common army composition. But the problem for DeMusliM now is that he's got aggression on his hands. He's had to delay the army production in order to keep the 3 town centers running, and now the outpost, the wooden fortress, is going forward with 9 villagers. Szalami looking to be aggressive here. He's piling on the pressure. Now this is going to be an issue for DeMusliM, because he's not going to be able to deny this. He does get a charge attack on one of the villagers. The villager does get microed back, and the problem is that the hunt here is going to be denied here for DeMusliM, so he's going to have to pull those villagers elsewhere. Not necessarily a game-changing thing, but this does offer a nice position for Szalami to stage an attack from. The wooden fortress will be getting arrow slits as well, so we're having good damage output. Take a look at the village count. Should be pretty high for DeMusliM though. 46 for Szalami, 52. There's a triple barracks production here. So opting for the spears, he knows that the French are typically going to be producing those knights, and that's exactly what's happening. The spears turn around to fight, and they're trying to charge down, but the knights obviously got the better mobility. And the barracks does come out for DeMusliM. He's aware of the threat of the early knights. Another outpost going down on the front lines for Szalami. That'll give him fantastic vision. He's actually going to go for the ball. Holy smokes. Okay, I take it back. We said at the beginning of the game that he's not going to go for this, but that's exactly what he does. He actually goes for the... We went to know, what can I say? He's going to go for the forward ball position here with the villagers and Szalami, keeping those villagers active. And the villagers going to be coming out on the right side. I'm not sure where she's going to, but she's going to death. Dies. Tragic death. And very quickly disintegrates into the floor. The rate of decay on human beings at the moment, very, very fast. And this is a nice bit of stealth for us for Szalami to stage an attack from, actually. DeMusliM won't have vision on this, doesn't have an outpost. And Szalami does see that third town centre, so you get the feeling now Szalami needs to be aggressive because he knows he's going to be behind on villagers. Although the economy looking pretty decent, especially with the boar meat coming in. One of the fastest sources of food in Age of Empires 4. Things are starting to calm down a bit, though. I think Szalami's heading back home. A bit surprised to see this. I'm surprised not to see a bit more aggression. Maybe looking to just secure this position here. I mean, is he going to go for... Yeah, he's going to go for a hunting cabin here, get some deer. Szalami making good use of the pocket economy, which is often something we say about the French. Actually, the Roos doing it today on this matchup on Basin. Yeah, Szalami just making sure those villagers are safe. He didn't want to take a chance. Obviously with the French, with the knights running around. We just have to be a bit careful. But now he's being pressured here on the position. 8 villagers do garrison inside the Warden Fortress. This position is being pressured and villagers are being idled. They're going to be taking the arrow fire. These knights are pretty tanky, soaking up quite a lot of the damage. But now the army is coming forward for DeMusliM, or for Szalami rather, to protect the position. DeMusliM heads back, takes quite a lot of arrow damage, and the charge attack gets on the knights. The spearmen in behind. That's a great charge attack for Szalami. He takes a lot out there. Spearmen are on hand for DeMusliM as well, so going to be looking to push those knights back. The archers looking to micro against the spearmen. If DeMusliM get good micro, this could be a decent fight, but the knights do get a charge attack on the archers, and Szalami's putting on the pressure. He is feeling confident about this fight. The knights engage. Spearmen not really where they want to be. They want to be up against those knights, but they're still charging forward in the stealth forest. And defender's advantage firmly in the position of DeMusliM. He's going to have this production builders close to home, but he's backing forward. The spearman knight combination for Szalami is proving powerful, and he's going to be diving right in. He smells blood. He's going to dive in for the jugular, and this is a good fight for Szalami. A couple of spearmen not engaging in the fight, going to focus on the villagers and gold instead. Fighting underneath the town centre, which is not ideal, but the knights are pretty tanky. They can tank a decent amount of the fights. The problem for DeMusliM, he doesn't have any more knights on the field. That last one's going to be going down to the spearmen. One more does pop out. Oh, good use of the 3 spearmen there. I don't know if that was on purpose or just a pathing, but whatever it was good. And now, problem for Szalami, he falls prey to the defender's advantage. He has to back off and head back towards the wooden fortress. But does he have reinforcements coming? He does, but this is what we talk about, defender's advantage. The army is kind of thin here for Szalami. Only 10 on the field, 22 for DeMusliM. Overall, DeMusliM pretty happy about that fight. Villagers looking to repair. And he's going to go towards the boar of meat again, and he needs to protect this economy because there's a decent amount of economy here. And DeMusliM's smelling blood. He knows that the army numbers are low for Szalami, so he's going to try and pressure this wooden fortress. You get the feeling that this game is really heating up because Szalami was unable to punish that greed, that 3 town centre greed, and actually that fight has a big bearing on this game. 77 villagers to 67, and the military presence for DeMusliM is just a little bit better here. And you get the feeling Szalami is kind of struggling in this game. The knights go right into the spears there for the French spears. They get huge amounts of damage, and Szalami needs to head back. I think he needs to give up this position. This boar carcass is half taken, so not bad value in the end. He needs the villagers to repair the wooden fortress, and they're going to head towards the boar again. And I think DeMusliM needs to just try and take things methodically. He's going to be looking to pressurize the situation. He's certainly looking strong at this stage of the game, and getting an outpost there on the stealth forest, that'll give him a decent amount of vision. That's actually really important. We talked about this earlier in the game, how he didn't have vision. Well, he has vision now with these 2 outposts, and he'll be able to sense any incoming attacks. But you do feel like Szalami at this stage of the game is a bit of kind of on a timer here. He does have a weaker economy with the villager count. The Muslim saving up for a keep. Got 500 stone in the bank. Let's see how many villages he's got. We've got 12 villages on stone, so we'll be looking to bank a keep up. And if you can get a keep on in a very secure position, like even here, it could be a very nice spot to do it. We'll see if that's what he decides to do. And then the knight's going to engage, and the wooden fortress. Archers in behind with the spearmen as well. And both players go for that army composition, knights, spearmen, and archers. The archer count here for DeMusliM are actually looking relatively strong, and the problem for Szalami at the moment is that every step he hesitates, the archers from the French are constantly firing off. They're getting damage per second, even on the retreat. And look at the spearmen, they're absolutely melting here. DeMusliM looking strong in this game. Number 2. And this is what we talk about on the retreat. Even Szalami not trying to retreat, he's taking a really bad fight here. I'm not sure about this. Does only have one knight, but the archer's getting so much value. And despite not having really much of a meat shield, DeMusliM is doing a lot of damage. Szalami is losing villages, trickling them in. This is not a good position for him. Does have 8 villagers, picking off some of the archers that are coming in for DeMusliM, but DeMusliM not too bothered about that. Now, one thing that has to be brought into consideration, if that knight does go down for DeMusliM, these archers will be exposed. So we should be able to see DeMusliM trying to produce those knights again, because he will need them. It looks like Szalami's been sent home. Tail between his legs, he has to head back and produce his army again. He needs another big crack at this. But he's certainly struggling, and looks like DeMusliM has enough for a keep. Might be able to put a very aggressive keep, actually. I wonder whether he's stockpiling that stone just for the killer blow, maybe looking to get army on the front lines, and then drop that keep very, very forward in his face. He's actually going for rams. Yeah, he's looking to take out the wooden fortress. The boar meat is still being harvested, so not all is lost for Szalami. Getting a decent amount of food there. Look at the production here. 4 rangers. Szalami definitely committing to the feudal age. As you can see, DeMusliM quite heavy on the wood. Maybe looking to get some siege. That could be an option. Getting some siege, a siege workshop for some trebuchets. Going for the rams first. Looking to clear these wooden fortresses up. Now, one thing for Szalami that's been really useful is these wooden fortresses actually bought him a lot of time. DeMusliM, rather than opting to just bypass and go straight through, is actually looking to take these out first. And I mean, that's a good idea, because now he has been able to reclaim the deer carcasses and key resources in the middle of the map. This does buy time for Szalami. With wooden fortresses, this is actually something very key to note about high-level gunplay, or especially if you're just trying to improve. When you have that map control with your military on the front line, when you're being aggressive, make sure you double down with these static defenses with the outposts, because as wooden fortresses, you can often see gameplays where players are going ahead, they're being aggressive, and they get pushed back, just like has happened in this game. But because of Szalami's presence of mind to get these static defenses on the front line, whilst he had the map control, whilst he had that aggression, it means that when DeMusliM does push back, the pushback is even slower. You can just imagine, if he didn't have these static defenses, the army for DeMusliM would have pushed back straight away, immediately, into the heart of the base, would have denied all these production buildings, berries, gold, everything on the front line. But because of those static defenses, gave Szalami the opportunity to rebuild, recover his economy, recover his army, and that's what he does. He's actually going to get a lot of villagers here, knights being pushed on the front lines, a couple of archers here on the back line as well. No real presence of spears for Szalami. So he's going for the knight archer play, and don't blame him, because the archer numbers for DeMusliM looking so strong. Those spearmen, if Szalami was to produce them, would get sniped out very easily. And here comes the pressure again. I think DeMusliM biding his time. I'm not entirely sure why. It does have the military presence to take this fight. Adopting to kind of delay things. He probably knows he's got the better economy. He must be sure about it. 3 town centers for the French is incredibly strong. And I think that's partly the reason why DeMusliM is not engaging here. 113 villagers for DeMusliM, 90 for Szalami. The village count will be increasingly rising, and certainly Szalami's on a bit of a timer here. The ram is coming out. Take that boar carcass. I think the boar carcass is almost gone, so these villagers might as well retreat back home. And the pressure is going on the 3rd town center now. The town centers don't have that much HP, 2,500, and it's just going to be sieged down by the knights. DeMusliM looking to defend that position though. Thinks about it. He thinks about it. He thinks better of it though. I think DeMusliM. Now this is something very key. When you've got a defender's advantage like this, you don't often want to just jump in. You want to build a decent amount of army. You want to take a decisive fight. It looks like that's what we're gearing up to. One big decisive fight here. DeMusliM wants to pull all of his resources to do so. I'm surprised he hasn't dropped a keep though defensively. I would have expected to see one. He does have the wood to do so. But he's not doing that just yet. And the army numbers are actually really building up for Szalami. Szalami's spending everything. And I suspect the Golden Gate has something to do with that, because the Golden Gate has only 2 tickets in it. And so he's clearly been spending it. And the knight. This is the decisive fight we're talking about here. On the front lines. Oh yeah, he's in the feudal age, so that's a good point. Snooper did point out, I just assumed we're in the castle age, 20 minutes in. And this is the big fight that we've been waiting for. Szalami actually looking really good in numbers. Knights on the front line with archers in the back of them. And the thing is, DeMusliM has invested quite a bit in spears, doesn't have the knight meat shield. And that's a bit of a problem for DeMusliM. He doesn't have the knights that he needs, and this is a big fight. I feel like Szalami's going to take it. The villager pull comes forward. He's going to take out the School of Cavalry. Szalami going full all in here at the moment. And don't forget, we are in the feudal age. It just means there are only 2 landmarks. There's the town center and the School of Cavalry, and Szalami looking just to take this fight. A villager pull coming in for DeMusliM, trying to repair things. I mean, it wouldn't be a Szalami game if you didn't have something crazy like this. Villagers fighting villagers, the archer numbers overwhelming for Szalami. He's starting to take the fight well here. Good number of knights here, still on the field for Szalami as well. No knights on the field for DeMusliM, that's a problem. Villagers now starting to take out the town center. This is a huge problem, and it feels like this could be a win for Szalami. Game number 2, Szalami with the big balls play. He knows, he smells blood, he needs to win this game. Well, he could push it to a third game, but he wants to see the game out now. The archers firing and the archers. The town center fire getting off, and the villagers might start to repair there for DeMusliM. But DeMusliM doesn't have any wood, he can't. DeMusliM can't actually repair this town center right now. He might need to trade for it. He might need to do something. There are a lot of villagers there. They're just fighting, and the archers taking out the villagers. It's too close to tell. DeMusliM has a random round there, but trying to get involved. Doesn't get to do too much. The building is on fire. DeMusliM struggling. He doesn't have the wood, and he doesn't have the school of cavalry to produce any knights out of. It does have a stable or so, but it's just not enough, and you just feel like slowly this building is going down. The archer numbers for DeMusliM is dying. Villagers being pulled again by Szalami, looking to seal the game, and he does so. DeMusliM taps out. Szalami gets the second win of the set. To seal the deal, he has taken down a titan, a giant, in the road to Redbull Wololo Legacy, takes the set 2-0, and progresses to the next stage. I hope you guys enjoy this casted game. If you're watching on YouTube, do give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And if you're watching on Twitch, stick around. We're going to be casting a lot more games. Take care, and see you next time.